Now in today's video, I want to talk about a relatively new weekly paying dividend ETF that has not only not decayed whatsoever since inception, but this ETF has also paid a massive amount of income every single week, more or less, since it started trading. This ETF offers exposure to an industry or industries that I think most of you guys are probably going to want exposure to, or maybe already have exposure to. I definitely been included in that. This ETF has also been in my portfolio for a while now. I definitely want to add some more shares if we ever see a buy the dip opportunity, because this one has went up in price pretty nicely. All to say, if you want to look into a dividend ETF that has been on a legendary run so far in 2025, go through it with me, drop a like down below, subscribe, and let's get right into it. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has already helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker, the one I use all the time on my videos, has also helped so many investors stay organized and has actually helped them see their dividend income grow. Well, today I have something even better for you guys. When you click the first link down below in my description and you grab my A to Z dividend investing ebook, today you're not only going to get the ebook, but you're also going to be getting the custom dividend tracker, which you can use to track your own dividend income ongoingly. Get direct access to my personal email where you guys can email me any questions regarding dividend investing. You're also going to receive a link to view all of my holdings inside my 7-figure dividend portfolio and see all the positions I add and take away ongoingly. And you're going to get for absolutely free my brand new high yield dividend investing ebook, where I show you the power of maximizing some of these high yielding ETFs and teach you everything there is to know about that also. This is going to be your one shot to grab everything inside of one single bundle, but you got to move quick because I'm not going to offer this for long. Now with all that, let's get back into the video. So the ETF I'm talking about, the ETF that has been on a crazy run so far in 2025, is the Nicholas Crypto Income ETF, or BLOX, which has a 36% more or less distribution rate. I've talked about BLOX a few times as of recently on the channel, but I want to make an update video because as of recent, I was going over some total return numbers, and this ETF, like I said, has been on a legendary run so far this year. So to give you guys an idea of what BLOX actually is, it says right here, BLOX is an actively managed exchange-traded fund ETF that seeks to give investors the opportunity to have exposure to both Bitcoin and Ether through direct or indirect ownership of US-listed exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, and or exchange-traded products, ETPs. The fund will invest in crypto industry companies engaged in crypto asset mining, blockchain technology, crypto trading platforms, payment processing, DeFi technology, providers with the crypto industry, and companies that invest directly in crypto. The fund will seek to generate income primarily from using option contracts on some or all of the individual holdings on the equity and crypto portfolio. BLOX portfolio managers will select option strategies that it believes best provide the fund with current income, while also attempting to capture upside appreciation. Now, also very important to note, this ETF's primary investment objective is to seek capital appreciation. The fund's secondary investment objective is to seek current income. So even though this ETF offers, in my opinion, a massive amount of income, this ETF's main objective is actually to seek capital appreciation, which means if the underlying names do well, this ETF should have a lot of growth as far as price return goes. Now, simply put, this ETF offers Bitcoin plus Ether plus crypto industry companies plus weekly income, which equals BLOX. Now, crypto industry companies, which we're going to go through here in a second, what some of those are when it comes to BLOX, plus of course Bitcoin and Ethereum. I definitely have got to be honest, over this last year, I've definitely become a lot more of a fan of all these things, especially just where the world is changing so much right in front of our eyes. I could be wrong, of course, but I personally think that some of the names at least inside of BLOX are going to be some of the biggest, most important companies in the world someday. Now, along with that, I'm also pretty guilty of really enjoying weekly income. Weekly income was not really something I cared about maybe even several months back, but as I've slowly been buying a lot more weekly income ETFs and getting paid more income more frequently, I have to admit it's kind of addicting, and I really like adding that to my portfolio. Now, looking into some of the top holdings for BLOX, is this iShares Ethereum Trust ETF, iRen, Galaxy Digital, Hut8, Riot Platforms, Robinhood Markets, Cipher Mining, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturer, Coinbase, Nvidia, etc. Now, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, some of these names inside of BLOX wouldn't really have my interest as much, maybe even a few years back, and maybe I'm a little bit late to the party, but I do think that some of these names are going to be very, very important in the future. Now, as far as the distributions go, I mentioned that this ETF also, in my opinion, pays a massive amount of distributions. On a weekly basis, we're talking 17, 18 cents per share per week this is. Now, this means that even with a relatively small amount of money invested, you could be earning several dollars per share per week based off the current price of BLOX, which is around 26 bucks per share. Now, I also mentioned that BLOX has not decayed at all since inception. The ETF started trading back in June at around $19.29 per share, now at around $25 per share. Now, I started buying BLOX, I think, back in September at around 21 bucks per share, and I really don't like dollar cost averaging up, although I still think I'm buying a small amount on a daily basis in one of my smaller portfolios, but I do wish that there was a buy the dip opportunity where I could really hammer some BLOX as in my portfolio, because this is a name that I do want to have more exposure to. But maybe the most important reason of this video is that I wanted to showcase this ETF's total return. Again, this ETF has only been trading since June of 2025. So keep in mind, over this time frame, there's been very few other ETFs that have performed this well. So you kind of have to give BLOX the credit it deserves. This ETF is up around 54% as far as total return goes. But also keep in mind that because BLOX does hold on to some pretty volatile names, there could potentially be some drops in the market where it might be a good buying opportunity. At least that's what I'm personally doing. So now that we talked about and went over one of my personal favorite weekly income ETFs, as of right now at least, we talked about what it is, what it has to offer, and what I'm seeing in it. And lastly, most importantly, I have a question for you guys down below. When it comes to BLOX, the Nicholas Crypto Income Fund, or any other really popular weekly income ETF across the market these days, which is your absolute favorite and why? Let us know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.